It was great. I mean, it was better than I even imagined. The fans brought crazy energy, and it was just super lively and fun to play in.
Zeke, how did it come about for you to play the national anthem on the piano today?
I don't know. I mean, kind of joked about it like in recruiting, and then kind of like as it came closer to time to play Red Blue, talked about it again and said yeah, and so I went for it.
Does it take a lot of practice?
Huh?
Take a lot of practice?
Oh yeah, I did a lot of practicing for that.
How long did you practice, and when did it take you, or when did you perfect playing the national anthem?
I started practicing probably a month ago, and I had it down within 3 or 4 days. It wasn't too hard, but just maintaining it after that.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a bit of nerves, that goes into it. I mean, I haven't played a game in a year and a half, but I mean, you settle in pretty quickly and you realize, a basketball game's a basketball game, and we're lucky enough to have extremely competitive practices with all the great guys that we have, and it makes it a lot easier, you just practice like you play.
Can you compare the two teams you're on that?
Cornell and Arizona?
No, last year's team.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, both teams, they're obviously very different. I think this team, we have a lot more height, which is great, and just overall, I would say we're a lot deeper, which enables us to kind of practice a lot harder every single day. Yeah, no, the fans are awesome here. As I touched on earlier, it's something that, even if a game sells out in the Ivy League, it's selling out a 4,000 or 5,000 person arena, whereas, we have 15,000 people here tonight. It was quite the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I take pride really because I wasn't supposed to do it because I was going to let the freshmen do it, but then I was like, I got to do it this year just because I was in the last year and I didn't really do nothing, so I had to just basically try to go out there and do something. Yeah, the second one, off the backboard, I just said something. I was like, Nico, just throw it off the side. The first one, been doing it for a long time, so I just had to go with that one.
How is Christian? Is he willing to do that? I mean,
at first, when I was practicing, he was kind of shaky because he didn't know if I could jump over him. So, but then I did it one time in practice, and I did it, and he just felt comfortable after that.
Well, first off, can't thank our fans enough. Just kind of a magical moment out there tonight, being that it's late September. We moved this game up 2 weeks, really for the development of our team, but also from a recruiting perspective that it allows everybody to make maybe more of an informed decision earlier, especially as it applies to our program. So that was the reason. But, you worry, you have it on a Friday evening and it's September, will we still have the same crowd pageantry that we've enjoyed here for really the last 10 years with this game? And obviously tonight we had it again. So I can't thank our fans enough. It's not just meaningful for our own team because you got to understand the jitters that these guys have when they get out in front of 14,000 for the first time. They've been looking forward to this day for so many years. And really from the onset, if you're a freshman, the second you make your decision, you envision this game for you. So you have to get the jitters out. But the fact they can get out here and play in front of a crowd like we had only helps, the first month of our year. And you learn a lot about our team. And then, the second phase is obviously the future of our program. This being just a really key recruiting weekend. So, thank you to everybody who is here. I mentioned some comments about George Khalil, and I think George has a special place in everybody's heart that knows Tucson, Arizona, the university, but especially our basketball program. I mean, he's been a fixture for decades, and just seeing him in that same seat over and over again. And, we lost him this summer, and it was a big, big loss, but I'm glad that we had an opportunity to at least acknowledge who he was, still is, and how much he meant to our program here before tonight's game. I don't know if you can remember what he would have looked like as a freshman in this game a year ago, but he was just almost like a young boy, finding his way from high school to college and figuring it out. He's grown up a lot. He's more mature. He's bigger, stronger, and like it used to be in our game when you practice and you earn your way through a freshman year, regardless of your role, you should have a great summer and be that much better as a sophomore. That's what Devonaire is. And what I like about him is he can contribute in a lot of different ways for our team. We could play him at the small forward. He's a very good offensive rebounder. We're playing him at the backup point guard. You saw him do that. And, it's too early to tell, but he could actually be the backup point guard and have that role, kind of like Brandon Williams did at times a year ago when Justin Coleman would be out. Kind of maybe what we did with a guy like Nick Johnson when T.J. McConnell would sit out or be out of the game. So I think the next month will be interesting to watch Devonaire. Nico did fine. I'm going to be his biggest fan here early on because it's just almost unfair, the high expectations that are placed on him. I mean, he's a really good player, and he's only going to get better, but he's not going to be able to do it alone. He's going to have his bumps in the road. He's seeing things for the first time. Tonight was his first ever moment in McKale. He's going to be that much better moving ahead. You're going to see Nico play against a zone for the first time. It's going to be different. He's going to have to guard different styles. So that's why you go to college. And I have no doubt that, like really all of our freshmen, they'll continue to develop and grow. But we're counting on Nico. I mean, he's a very good player. Excited to coach him, but I think everybody has to take him with a grain of salt. He's going to miss a few shots. He's not going to be perfect every night, but he's going to get there. There's no doubt about it. No, I think it's great that he says that though, because that's where his talent lies immediately. There are things about Josh's game that he'll work on and improve, and he'll gain experience and be better. But right out of the gates, where he's blessed is with his athleticism and his physicality. And, it would be great for him to embrace that role because, kind of like if you think about Nick Johnson, when Nick really embraced that defensive role, that's when everything happened good for both him and the team he played on. And, I think Josh can have a lot to do with that. Dylan Smith is similar. Like, he probably doesn't get enough credit for his defense. Dylan gets you now with experience. He's been through so many situations that he knows what to do and how to do it. So, you think about those two guys. They're both, 6'5", 6'6". Josh has longer arms, but, hopefully those two can really help us on the defensive end.